Hi, I'm Miss Laura from the Franklin Park Public Library, and we are going to be making Papel Picado. As you can see on the wall behind me, there's an example of Papel Picado, which is basically uh, sheets of um, tissue paper, often rectangular, that are cut with a lot of intricate patterns. And this originates from Mexico. Um, and Papel picado, it means cut paper, essentially, small pieces. And the tradition actually originated from the Aztecs, who would, in the area that is now Mexico, who would use chisels and hammers to cut intricate patterns and designs in tree bark. They were often religious purposes. So for when Papel Picado is made, it's sometimes also still using um, a chisel and a hammer. They may take sheets of tissue paper like this, and you have 6 in your packet, but they may do up to 40 sheets and fold it and it'll be very thick at that point, and they'll use a chisel and hammer to be able to cut all these designs into it. So for the one that I did on the wall behind me, I did cut all 6 sheets at once. I carefully kind of lined them up and folded them into kind of a accordion fold, and then cut through the paper with kind of very sharp scissors. So what I would suggest, if you want to try that, I would suggest only using 2 sheets at a time, or maybe just trying 1 to start with. If you want to layer, just use 2. So you are going to need, for this, scissors, of course, and eventually at the end you'll need Scotch tape. So this is it's very similar to cutting snowflakes. So we'll just put this down. And so what you're going to do is fold it up. What I did for the one on the wall is I folded it in half first, and then from that fold began kind of making an accordion fold that basically like this. And then I created the edge on top by cutting out like a shape on top, kind of a curved shape. And what's different than snowflakes is I often opened it and checked it. And then I did the same thing on the side, which was folding this over again in an accordion fold, and then making kind of a shape on the side that was another kind of rounded shape, so that it had an edge kind of like a flower. A flower is actually a common design that's used for Papel Picado. Okay, there we have that. So if you open it up again, you can see you have those kind of edges, like this. I'm not sure. Yeah, like that. So now try folding it again back into the accordion fold. And what you're gonna, the way that I made the design on the wall is basically making very small cuts in it. I guess were kind of petal shaped, or some of them were kind of long triangles. And then kind of maybe refolding it a little bit in other ways to cut other parts. Now you don't want to, you definitely don't want to cut all the way across, because that'll kind of chop off this piece. But you want to make as many kind of small cuts And you can see as you go, when you open it up again, it kind of it shows you what it's going to eventually look like. So this is something that this is something that's kind of fun to experiment with, because when you make the cut, you're not exactly sure how it'll look until you open it up and check it again. If you've seen the movie Coco, there's a lot of these, there's a lot of Papel Picado in there. There's also paper flowers, which we'll be doing later. But these are used in all kinds of celebrations, birthdays, quinceañeras, um, any kind of festival, Christmas. Um, so I've seen these driving around in Chicago. There are neighborhoods that have a large Hispanic population, and I've seen these like hanging across the streets, just as regular kind of decorations that they have there. Um, And you might also want to have kind of a garbage can nearby. Now leave about an inch from this edge, and because you'll be taping this onto the string, kind of folding it down and taping it onto the string that comes in your package. So we have something that looks like this now. Now to do this part, I think I'll do another series. I'll fold this, and I'll do the same thing along this edge. So as you can see, it might be helpful to try, if you want to try more than one sheet at a time, to only stack up about two, because you're going to be folding it very, like, kind of a lot of folds, and once the paper gets a certain thickness, it becomes challenging to cut. Oh, to make a heart shape, you can cut like half a heart, and that'll make a heart shape when you open it up again. That kind of made a pointy heart shape. There's kind of one upside down. So there, and then when you open it up carefully, you've got to kind of, one of the things with working with tissue paper, obviously, you have to be pretty careful with it. So it's kind of good to do this individually, and then you can experiment and see different ideas with it. So this, what we're going to do with this part is, this is how you tape this to the string. So once you finish cutting all of your 6 pieces, you can put the string at the top, and this area that you left uncut, what you do is you fold it down over the top, and you're going to take a bunch of small pieces of tape, maybe around 4 will be enough. So I just kind of line them up I get them ready, and I just kind of line them up on my fingers, and then kind of go ahead and fold it down and tape it on. Okay, and there we go. Oh, I used the same color as my shirt. So here, maybe, there you go. So when you finish all 6 of these, it's going to be really cool as you kind of hang them on the string, and then the string gets hung, sometimes they hang it across the ceiling, a whole lot of these, and it looks really cool. So have fun experimenting with these and using the rest of your sheets to make the rest of the colors, and then tape them to the string and hang it up somewhere and to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you for watching and have fun.